first video in a series of videos that I'm going to be making on Lost Crusade, since I play a lot of it when I'm not at home especially. And there's not a lot of content creators giving informative videos on the game. I mean, there's some stuff, but there's no outright guides. So here's my first guide. Is Warhammer 40,000 Lost Crusade worth playing? I'm going to give you the short answer of no. The reason why is I would consider this to be a pay-to-win player versus player idle clicker game. It's exactly what I was looking for to kind of waste time between jobs. Because the work I do, there are down times and it gets pretty boring. So having something I can just flip open, do a couple of things and close is good for me. If you're looking for a game to actually sit down and play, this is not it. If you're looking for a fair game, this is not it. It is what it is. So go in with your expectations tempered. That said, this is an officially licensed Warhammer 40,000 product. And depending on your feelings of Games Workshop, that's either a pro or a con. There's certainly a lot of drama going on Games Workshop, both recently and long term. And if you're not aware of that, you can probably find that in other YouTube channels. Now, if you do decide to get started, it does have decent rewards to get players into the game, mainly in the form of events. There's a series of events that you get as a new player. Of course, I can't show you that because I have a old account. Well, relatively old. I've playing about 6 months now, I think. But give you an idea, this is all of the active events right now. There were even more yesterday for Christmas events. So they keep it pretty well stacked with stuff. And the rewards are pretty decent, especially if you're a free player and things are hard to come by. However, some of it gets really asinine, as they're clearly expecting you to play this more than you do anything in real life. Like, for example, this one right here. Defeat 400 Chaos Forces. And you can see I'm at 222, and I pounded at it pretty hard for a couple of days, and I just kind of gave up. I was like, all right, the 400 mark I'm not going to bother with. Usually, though, the events are pretty good. More reasonable one down here. Attack Kronos. See, I finished that one. Wasn't even trying. And of course, it flashes the shit in your face. Oh, look at all this stuff you got. And of course, it's not long enough for you to actually see what it is. Not like it really matters. But, you know, you get ones that just give you stuff for logging in. Radar scan events, which you're going to do anyway. And you see I've completed that yesterday, actually. Anyway, I'm getting off on a tangent. Major downside is the power levels in this game. New and free players are going to be at the mercy of whales, you know, the pay-to-win types. And that's just the nature of it. I'll show you right here just in the units. So my alt, which is totally free, currently has tier 6 units. Power 150, attack 36, hit points 141, defense 14, load 78. Those first 3 stats are what matters for combat. That last stat is just how much of your shit they can steal. And you can see it jumps. I mean, the raw power number, sure, is almost double, but, you know, attack 46, hit points 178. And when you're bringing in 9,000, the difference in power is pretty insane. There are ways to manage that even as a free player and not necessarily make yourself invulnerable to whales, but definitely make them bleed for it. But I'll get to that in another video. So moving on. Even for whales, this game gets prohibitively expensive after level 30. You can see I'm at level 31. The current cap is 40, and that's game-wide. And there's nobody on my server that's level... I don't think there's even anybody level 35. I think the highest right now is 33. That said, if you join, the first thing you want to do is to join the strongest alliance you can get into. An emphasis on you can get into, because some alliances are not going to recruit new players. They're going to look for experienced high-level players. My alliance takes anybody. I'm open recruitment. Anybody can join. So it's good for free and new players who are just looking for bonuses and protection. But yeah, you definitely want to find an alliance, because you can have a lot of other active players, and then that alone acts as a deterrent. Because it can get, even for whales, it can get expensive dealing with an entire alliance, having to pay to heal and replace soldiers. Yep, play events to maximize growth. I already went over that. If you must spend money on this game, if you just have an itch to just take out your money and light it on fire, the single best investment is the 30-day oath daily drop. And, you know, they'll give you these percentage things, and they'll give you like a basic idea of the value of it. But these are actually inaccurate. I've sat down and done the math, and usually they're pretty accurate, but there's some that are just way off. But that's just the total for what you get. What's important is that exactly what you get. So your 30-day daily oath, when you buy it, you immediately get 3,000. So, and it's $10. That's package shop 3,000. So that's straight up, that's worth the money. That's 3,000. It's for $10. But then you get 1.2 thousand every day for 30 days. You get a AP stim, which grants 50 AP, and that allows you to do actions on the star map. And you get VIP points. You get 50. So that little over doubles your passive daily VIP points, which matters, especially early game, where you want to get up to VIP 7 reasonably quickly. And the reason why it's so good is, so that is 36,000. Plus that is almost 40,000. So you're getting 40,000 crystals for $10, which is more than you get. I mean, ignoring the first purchase, is more than you can get out of a $100 package. So yeah, that is the single best thing you can spend money on. Do not unlock the second build queue permanently unless you plan to lay down a shit ton of money, because as you can see, I only have one thing building. And this goes back to it gets prohibitively expensive, especially when you hit 30. You're not gonna bring in resources fast enough to work 2 build queues. However, if you do a single build queue, you're never going to run into a problem. Yeah, it's going to take you longer to get up levels, but you'll also be able to spend on other things like research and actual decent troops as you level up. But to give an example of prohibitive, you see, I don't even, you know, it looks like I have a lot. 50 million, 46 million, 39 million. I need 76 of the first 2 and 63, 64. And I'm talking at least, probably going to take me 5 days just doing it with my mining troops to get up there. So yeah, don't get the second build queue unless you're going to piss away money on this. And I highly recommend not pissing away money on this. So the second best investment is actually going to be here in events. And this is conditional. It's going to be the war badge. And the condition of it is how active you're going to be in the game. So when you start playing, pay attention to your daily missions. If you're consistently putting enough time in the game where you're clearing the final crate, you know, getting 340, then the war badge is a good investment. If you're not consistently clearing the final crate, you might want to give the war badge a pass because you might not get everything before the 2 weeks is up. And yeah, so the war badge is every 2 weeks, and the other one is 30 days. Moving on. Let's see, where am I? Oh, if you're going to whale, do not just buy whenever, unless it's like a limited time thing that you gotta have and you don't want to wait. The reason I say this is, here's a great example: the super value event. Basically buy crystals. Any purchase that gives you crystals counts towards these objectives. And this is a 5-day event. This started either Friday or Saturday. I don't remember. But as you can see, you get some decent extras. I mean, that the first 2 tiers is kind of alright. This is actually pretty helpful. 30 times 5 or 40. So yeah, that's quite a bit of time bonuses, speed up bonuses. And then as you can see, the one that I'm creeping up on, that's basically $30, $40 spent. You get 10 Cronus fragments. And of course, if you don't have Cronus yet, that unlocks the hero for you. And events is the only way to get this guy anyway. Now, if you spend whenever, and then this event pops up, and you're just like, oh, well, I spent all the money I planned to spend this month, and now you're just kicking yourself in the ass. And then likewise, spending crystals. Do not just spend crystals wherever. I mean, you're gonna spend crystals to get things, but there are other events for spending crystals. Like right now, Alliance ranking. Shoot, look at it right there. Consume a total of 2,000 crystals. And if you're out of crystals, you can't take that mission. I'll have another video for that event. So yeah. Do things when you have events. Research is another good one. Of course, when you first start, you kind of want to just keep researching stuff all the time. Normally, I'm not researching something unless I have an event that gives me a bonus. In this case, it was, again, the Alliance rank up. I had a couple of missions. And then, of course, there's this event. Research promotion, speed up research, 6,000 total minutes. Yeah, fucking right. But as you can see, I got 4 bars of it clear, so that's a decent amount of stuff. Can you imagine spending so much money on this game that this event ran 2 days, I think. 2 days, 3 days? I don't know, let me look. Is it on here? It's not. See, not all events show on the event page, which is annoying. So, yeah, could you imagine spending that much money? Because not only do you have to buy that many, but you have to have the resources to pay for the research as well. So you're definitely spending money to speed up research. 40,000 minutes in total. That probably gets you pretty close to completing 25% of all of the research in the game. And if you do play this game, play this with a mindset of a roguelike or a roguelite. And the reason I say that is because it is a PvP game. There are going to be whales that are going to hit you to steal your stuff. And if you come in here expecting anything other than to die and get raided, you're gonna not have any fun. And if that's not if you don't enjoy the idea of losing and starting over with an advantage, give this game a hard pass. My final bit of advice is find a good server. Some servers are definitely better than others. I got lucky. I'm on server 72. It's a very inactive server, but those of us that are on here are pretty dedicated and loyal. I inherited this alliance and I've kind of fostered it. I've tried to take care of my people. As such, they leave us alone. the major alliances know my players are free players and new players, so they leave us alone during the events and stuff. But like the alliance that has set the rules on this server, the Raven Guard, they're cool people. So on our server we have a rule: you can't attack anybody that is under 500 million power, which basically means nobody under level 20. PvP should largely only happen during the events, because there are events where you win things for hitting enemy players. And if you hit a player, you hit them once and done. You don't continually attack them to zero out their resources. And that has made this a very friendly server to play on for people who both want to do PvP and people who don't. This is not the case on most other servers. Most other servers, it's you're on your own. Even if you join a big alliance, you're gonna be on your own. I couldn't tell you which server to join, but I will tell you there's plenty of room on server 72. I mean, we're relatively inactive, so we could always use new players, and if not getting constantly raided by high-level players sounds appealing, then this is the one to go to. If being a whale, spending $1,000 and trying to pick on people is your idea of fun, don't come to server 72. We'll zero the fuck out of you constantly. That's definitely a thing. That's pretty much it. So, like I said, if you play, keep those things in mind. I'll make some more guide videos that go more in the depth than the other things. And of course, there are some other guides out there already, but there's things in this game that it seems like people don't go in depth on. Like, you'll see a lot that goes in depth on builds for attacking, PvP, and all of that, but there's smaller nuances that are not explained, and you can either figure them out on your own, or you can wait for me to make a video. So, until next time, y'all have a good one.